Alright guys, video number 1 in our communication series. Did I mention coffee's good? And I've got to put this somewhere where I will not knock it over. Maybe we can not knock it over there. Alright, 2 things in this one that I want to discuss. And that is, first of all, well, the two things are both related. Protecting your radio. If we're doing this stuff for real, which is what the context of this is, things have gone craptastically sideways, we're having to use these radios for real. It's not play time, it's not game time, it's not hobby time. You're going to want to protect your radio. I don't care how tough it is. I don't care what kind of weather resistant rating it's got. I don't care if the whole dang thing's made out of freaking space age titanium. Doesn't matter. You should be taking measures to protect your radio. There's a couple of simple ways you can do this. If you don't like these ways, don't do them. But there's no reason for you not to, other than just you choose not to. All right? There's no downsides to these, there's no negatives to these. The very first one is have your radio in a pouch, okay? Don't just take your bare open radio and just clip it to your gear, whether it's on a shoulder harness or a belt or whatever. Don't just clip it to it. Have it in a pouch, preferably in a flapped pouch that completely covers the radio. But any pouch is better than no pouch. The more protection you can get around the radio, the better off you are. That's going to do a couple of things. Number one, the obvious. It protects the radio from getting mud, dirt, grime, gunk, water, all that kind of stuff on it. And again, I stress, I don't care how waterproof your radio is, you still need to take steps to protect it. This will give it extra protection. Is it 100%? No. But we try to stack percentages everywhere we can in our favor. Secondly, it's going to give you a little bit of bump protection. If something scrapes across it or hits it, it doesn't eliminate the chance that the radio is going to get damaged if something really nails it. But it will help protect it a little bit from lighter things, such as something hitting the screen and gouging into the screen. Might not disable the radio, but it might make it so you can't see the screen. This at least gives you some protection on there of something gouging into it. Another thing it's going to do is if you've got comms wires and stuff hooked in and coming out, which I'll show you in a minute, it goes a long way to helping keep those plugged in, because it's not easy for them to come out laterally this way whenever you've got it in a pouch and everything's covered. Lastly, if you inadvertently forget and don't have the lights and stuff turned off on the radio, such as on a lot of common Baofangs and some others, the flashlights that they put on top of them, and then any other radio, the backlight on the screen, if you forget to have all those turned off, and you key up or you get a call coming in or whatever, if it's in an enclosed pouch, goes a long way of protecting that light signature from being a glowing beacon for anyone close by to see and realize where you are. So from a tactical standpoint, that can be extraordinarily important. Now, the other thing that you can do, and this, for whatever reason, I don't understand why, is a point of like huge contention amongst some people. Some people just absolutely lose their minds over this, and it baffles me as to why. I've been doing it for years. I know guys that were Marine Recon that have done this. I know guys in actual combat in various places that have done this, but apparently it's like this thing that just sends people over the edge. It's cheap, it's effective, and it works. get you a Ziploc bag. I have showed this in other videos. You can make a small hole in one corner for your antenna to go through. If you put some 100-mile-an-hour tape or duct tape or whatever around that, it will prevent the plastic from ripping and tearing any further. This gives you the ability to invert the radio. You put it in, you run your antenna out the top right here. Then I can seal up the bag, and then when I stick it in the pouch, now I've got the plastic bag around it, and I've got this around it, and I can even still see my screen through the plastic. It goes a long way towards keeping water and stuff off your radio. Again, I stress, I don't care how waterproof your radio is. For pennies on the dollar, you can make an effective barrier to help keep water, mud, muck, grime, sand, dust, dirt, whatever, off of your very important piece of equipment. That if you're relying on this for your life, and make no mistake, if we're using this in a bad situation, we're staking our life on it. Why would you not want to take every possible measure to protect your radio, especially one this cheap? Now, it's been said that these won't last more than one trip to the field. Okay, well, I don't know quite what your trips to the field are like, but if you've got the radio in a pouch, all it's doing is sitting in the pouch. How is this getting damaged? I don't know if you can see how wrinkled this bag is. I don't know if you can see where the white area on it used to be for you to mark stuff, but you see how worn that is? I've been using this same bag on this radio for right at 2 years. Yeah, right at 2 years. I've done a little bit of training with it out in the field. A little bit. It's still perfectly fine. And even if it got some teeny tiny pinholes in it, it's still 90+% better than nothing at all. They're also, I don't know if you noticed, they're very cheap. You can buy a whole box full of them for not a lot of money. And if you keep a whole box full of them on hand and one gets damaged, well, you can get a new one out. They're literally pennies on the dollar. This one is all wrinkled up and missing that because it's been used for a couple of years on this radio in this pouch. Give you another example. This one right here has been used even longer in the pouch, just like this. And we reinforced the whole top of this one with tape just because I didn't want to take a chance of it tearing anymore, because I had to make, because of the antenna and the comms coming out two different sides, I made a hole for the antenna and I made a separate hole for the comms cable to come out of. Taped them up, folded up, put it in the pouch, and voila, even my non-waterproof radio is now 98% waterproofed. And if I really wanted to seal it up after the fact, I could simply put some more tape over the hole where the comm ports are coming out and put another little piece right around the antenna, though that's a pretty snug fit already. Now, this is not for you to go doing beach insertions off of a submarine with. We're not being Navy SEALs. This is not for you to swim across the lake with. We're not trying to be rangers here. This is for when it's raining on you and you got to do things out in the rain and it keeps it from getting wet. It's for when you're out in the bushes, in the woods, in the real world, in the mud and the muck, and stuff splattering around and you're crawling around on the ground and going through bushes, and it's to keep all that wet mud off of it. If you're in super dry areas and it's dusty and there's dust and sand blowing all over the place, It keeps the dust and sand off of it. It does all those things, and a whole box of Ziploc baggies are pretty dadgum cheap. You can get the smaller ones like this, and this one, dude, the white label area on the front is completely gone. It is completely worn off because I've been using this one for so long. And I'm still using it. It's still sealed up. It still does the things that I want it to do to protect my radio. Put it in there, close it up. Now everything is covered and protected. It can rain on it, it can get wet on it, and we don't have to worry. In case some of you are wondering, those particular pouches that I'm using are some of my own. No, they are not for sale yet. Emphasis on yet. So that's kind of the couple of things I wanted to cover today. Protect your radios, guys. Protect your radios. Put them in a pouch, bag them up, and if you've got something better than a Ziploc baggie that you can use to do the same thing with, any kind of waterproof bag that you can put it in and cut a little hole, reinforce it with some tape, run your antenna and comm wires through, shove it in a pouch. Every little step like that you can take to help protect your radio is worth it, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Everybody, well, not everybody. There are those who, oh, that's just stupid. Well, if it's stupid and it works, it ain't really stupid. So there's that. So that's your first comm tip for the day. Protect your radios. Put them in a pouch. Bag them. Keep the elements and Mother Nature off of them. Again, I will reiterate like a broken record. I don't care what radio you've got. I don't care what the waterproof rating is on it. I don't care if it's an IP5 I am never going to take that chance of not protecting my radio regardless of how super fancy it is. Especially when there are very cheap ways to hedge the odds in your favor of something that could be so important for you to protect your life on or depend your life on. That's it for this one, guys. We will be back with more as soon as I can get them done. As always, you guys take care. Get out there and train. Get out there and practice. Use your stuff. Figure out what works for you. And then once you figure out what works for you, roll with it. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. See y'all later.